The cold metal table. Ethan slowly opened his eyes. His head felt heavy. Everything around him was blurry. Bright white lights burned above him. He tried to move, but his arms didn't respond. Neither did his legs. He looked down. Thick metal. Straps were holding him to a cold silver table. Panic rushed through him. "Where am I?" he whispered, his voice dry like sand. He remembered something. The explosion. His spaceship had been hit during a patrol mission near an unknown alien sector. Then, darkness. Now, he was here. The room looked strange. The walls were smooth and silver with glowing blue lines running across them. Machines hummed softly in the background. Something beeped beside his ear. He turned his head with effort. A small screen showed his heart rate, body temperature, and other strange symbols he couldn't understand. Suddenly, a door opened. Ethan's heart jumped. An alien walked in. She looked different from what he expected. Not scary, not ugly. She was tall and slim, with violet skin that shimmered slightly under the light. Her eyes glowed like blue fire, and her long white hair floated gently behind her. She didn't wear armor or carry weapons, just a smooth white uniform with glowing blue patterns. She stopped beside the table and smiled. "Relax, human," she said softly. "This won't hurt." Her voice was calm, almost too calm. Ethan's body tensed. "Who are you?" he asked. "Why am I here?" She ignored his question. She pressed something on the side of the table. A hiss followed, and the straps loosened. Just a little, enough for him to breathe easier, but not enough to escape. "My name is Jara," she said. "I'm here to prepare you." "For what?" he snapped. "I'm a soldier. If you plan to torture me, don't expect me to break." Jara tilted her head. Her glowing eyes blinked slowly. "No torture. Not today." Her hands moved over a console and a soft blue light passed over Ethan's body. It felt warm, strangely comforting. "I fixed your broken ribs, healed your burned arm. Your body is stable now," she said. "But that's only the beginning." Ethan frowned. "Beginning? Of what?" Jara didn't answer. Instead, she pulled out a strange device. It looked like a curved crystal with soft green light pulsing inside it. Ethan stared at it. "What's that?" She placed the crystal near his forehead. "It will help your body adapt," she said. "Don't worry. You might feel a little heat." He jerked his head back. "Don't touch me with that." Jara looked sad. "If I don't, you won't survive what's coming." Before Ethan could argue, she pressed the device gently against his skin. Heat spread instantly, not painful, but deep. Like fire inside his blood. His heartbeat rose. His breathing quickened. His vision blurred again, but this time he saw things. Flashes of stars. A strange planet full of storm clouds. Other humans, hooked to machines, eyes closed. And Jara, standing in front of a giant council. He blinked. The vision stopped. The device was gone. What was that?" Ethan gasped. "Your memories are waking," Jara said, "but some are not yours." Ethan tried to move again. His fingers twitched. "What are you doing to me?" he asked, his voice sharper now. Jara took a step back. "You were chosen," she said. "Your kind may be the only hope we have left." He narrowed his eyes. "Hope for what?" The door opened again. 2 other aliens entered. They looked colder, less kind. One of them spoke in a strange language. Jara turned to them, and they began arguing quietly. Ethan couldn't understand the words, but he knew tension when he heard it. The cold-looking alien pointed at him. Jara shook her head. They didn't seem to agree. Then the cold alien tapped on a screen beside Ethan. Another image appeared. Ethan's body, but different. Modified. Muscles enhanced. Brain activity glowing red. Ethan felt a chill. "Hey," he shouted. "What the hell is that? What are you turning me into?" Jara turned back to him. Her face showed conflict. "Worry. We don't have much time," she said softly. "Please trust me. I'm trying to help you. Ethan looked at her. Her eyes weren't lying. But the others? Their faces were empty, like machines. He didn't know who to trust. All he knew was he had to find a way out of here, and fast, because something worse was coming, and he was not ready. Her touch was not what he expected. Ethan lay still, staring at the ceiling. The strange warmth from the crystal had faded, but his body felt different. He didn't feel pain anymore. His injured ribs? Fine. The burn on his arm? Gone. He had seen soldiers recover with top-level human tech before, but this healing, it was faster. Too fast. The door slid open again. He expected the cold aliens. Instead, it was her, Jara. Xiao walked in quietly, holding a glowing bowl with green liquid. Her steps made no sound. Her eyes met his, but she said nothing for a while. Then she offered the bowl. "Drink this," she said. "It will help the changes settle." Ethan narrowed his eyes. "What changes? What did you do to me?" Jara knelt beside him, her voice soft. "You were dying. I saved your life, but that's not all. I helped your body adjust to what's coming." Ethan didn't take the bowl. "Answer me clearly. Adjust to what?" She didn't look away. "To your new form. To become something more." He wanted to throw the bowl, but his hands still couldn't move much. He just stared at her, his jaw tight. Jara sat down beside the table. Not like a guard, like someone who came to talk. "You're not the first human we brought here," she said quietly. That made Ethan freeze. "Others?" he asked. "Where are they?" Her eyes dimmed. Some couldn't handle the changes. Some resisted too hard. Ethan felt a cold anger rise inside. "You experimented on them." "I tried to help them," she replied, "but I was too late." A long silence followed. Only the machines hummed. Then she did something unexpected. She reached out and gently touched Ethan's arm. The moment her fingers touched his skin, a soft pulse passed through his body. It felt like waves of light moving through him. His heartbeat slowed. His muscles relaxed. He could breathe easier. "What is that?" he whispered. "Energy transfer," she said. "My kind can share life force." Ethan's head spun. "Why would you help me like this after what you've done?" She hesitated. "Because I don't want to be like them." Ethan looked into her eyes. He saw something there. Guilt. Regret. Maybe even fear. Jara stood up and walked to a screen. She tapped it, and a map of the galaxy appeared. "We are losing worlds," she said. "Our species is falling. We cannot survive long like this." So our leaders looked for something stronger, more adaptable, something that survives no matter what. She turned and looked at Ethan. "They found humans." Ethan said nothing. Jara continued. "Your species grows even on the harshest planets. You fight, but you also heal. You destroy, but you rebuild. We cannot do that. We break once, and we stay broken." Ethan stared at the screen. "So your plan is to change us? Force humans into becoming your solution?" "No," she said. "Not force. Just merge. Learn from you. Share parts of you with us. You were chosen because your mind is strong. Your DNA is special. You didn't die from the crystal." Ethan laughed bitterly. "Lucky me." Jara looked down. "I know how it sounds. I've questioned it too, but when I saw your heart rate steady, when I saw your mind resist and still survive the process, I felt hope." "Hope for who?" he asked. "Me, or your dying empire." She didn't answer. Then Ethan asked something he didn't expect himself to ask. "Do you believe in this mission?" Jara walked slowly back to him. "I believe that saving one life is better than destroying thousands. I believe in giving you a choice, even if my people won't." She placed the green liquid beside him. "When your strength returns, you will have to decide," she said. "Stay and finish the procedure or escape. But know this, others are watching. If you leave, they will send someone else." Ethan stared at her. Then something clicked inside his mind. His fingers moved, freely. The straps were unlocked. He sat up slowly. Jara didn't stop him. "You unlocked me," he said. She nodded. "You said I had a choice, then give me one." Jara looked sad but also relieved. She walked to the door. "When you're ready," she said, "I'll show you the truth." And with that, she was gone. Ethan sat on the edge of the table. His hands shook, not with fear, but with power. His senses were sharp. He could hear distant voices through metal walls. He could feel heat from the machines. Something inside him had changed, and soon he would find out exactly what. The hidden room and the screaming files. Ethan waited 15 minutes after Jara left. He didn't drink the green liquid. He didn't trust it. His body was stronger now. He could feel it. The tightness in his chest was gone. His movements were smooth, balanced. But his mind? Still racing. He slid off the metal table and stood up fully for the first time. His feet were bare, the floor cold. The room was quiet except for the hum of alien machines. He needed to find out the truth. What had really happened to him, and what they had planned. A small panel on the side wall flickered. Curious, Ethan stepped closer. When he placed his hand on it, the panel glowed blue and made a soft clicking sound. The wall opened slightly with a hiss, a hidden door. He glanced back at the main door Jara had used. No footsteps, no alarms. This secret door was calling him. Ethan stepped through. The corridor beyond was narrow and dark. Only thin lights along the floor guided his path. He moved silently, listening to every noise. Far ahead he saw another door, thicker, covered in wires and glowing symbols. He reached it and placed his hand on the scanner. It didn't open. Then, strangely, the scanner beeped once and turned green. The door slid open. Inside was a chamber, filled with cold fog. The air smelled like chemicals, and then he saw them. Pods. Glass pods lined the room, each one filled with liquid. Inside each pod was a human body. Some were young, some old, some looked peaceful. Others had faces frozen in silent screams. Ethan's stomach turned. He moved closer to the nearest pod. The man inside was hooked to tubes and wires. His skin was changing, turning slightly purple, like Jara's. His veins glowed faint blue. "This can't be happening," Ethan whispered. He turned to a screen beside the pod. It was showing something, medical data, progress percentages, and video logs. He tapped the screen. A recording began. The video showed a woman strapped to a table, crying. Jara was there. So were two of the cold-faced aliens from earlier. They injected something into the woman's neck. She screamed. Her skin began glowing. Then the video cut off. Ethan stepped back. Another video. This time a man. He looked like a pilot. Strong. Brave. Until the moment he started shaking and foaming at the mouth. A robotic voice said, "Procedure failed. Subject terminated." Ethan's breath caught in his throat. This was a lab, a testing ground. He wasn't the first, he was just the newest. Suddenly he heard a sound. Footsteps. He ducked behind a control panel just as the door opened. Jara walked in. She didn't look angry. She looked tired. "I knew you'd find this place," she said softly. Ethan stood up from behind the console. "How many people have you done this to?" Jara didn't answer at first. "Too many," she said finally. "Most didn't survive. A few lived. None were like you." "Like me?" Ethan snapped. "You mean useful?" Jara shook her head. "No, awake, still human, still yourself." He looked at the pods again. "You lied to me." "I didn't," she said. "I just didn't tell you everything." Ethan's fists clenched. "These people, they trusted you. You turned them into monsters." "I tried to help them," she whispered, "but I was not allowed to choose. My orders were clear. Continue the program, no matter the cost." He took a step forward. "Then stop. Shut it down." Jara looked up at him, her eyes filled with sorrow. If I do, I'll be punished. Or worse, replaced by someone without a heart. Ethan stared at her, then back at the pods. He pointed. Who is this? Jara walked closer and read the tag. Subject 47. Human, female, captured during supply mission in Sector 14. Transformation, 40% complete. Ethan closed his eyes. She's still alive. Jara nodded. Yes, but not for long if the process continues. He turned back to her. Let me help you stop it. Jara's eyes widened. You'd work with me, after what you've seen? I don't trust you, Ethan said. But I trust myself. And if you really hate what they're doing, you won't let it go on. She looked at him, then slowly nodded. There's a server room 2 levels below. If we reach it, I can wipe the research, free the survivors. But once we do, there's no going back. Ethan looked at the pods again. At the people trapped. Inside. No going back, he repeated. Good, Jara said. Because they're waking up soon. Jara's secret mission. The hallway pulsed with red lights. Alarms started softly, then grew louder. Security breach in cryo wing, said a robotic voice in a language Ethan didn't understand. Jara pulled Ethan into a maintenance shaft and slammed the panel shut. They crouched together in silence, their breaths shallow, the air stale. Someone saw us, she whispered. We have to move fast. Ethan didn't speak. He was still thinking about the people trapped in glass pods, alive, changing, screaming. He hadn't expected to feel this angry, not after everything he had seen during the war. Jara placed a small cube on the wall. It glowed blue and hummed. A hidden path opened downward. We'll take the tunnel to the server chamber, she said. It's off-grid. They won't track us there. Ethan paused. Why are you helping me now? What changed? Jara looked at him. You did. They climbed down the narrow path. The walls here were raw metal, unfinished. A smell of oil and heat filled the air. Jara led the way, crawling fast like she had done this before. After 10 minutes, they reached a sealed hatch. Jara touched the wall. It scanned her palm and hissed open. Inside was a dark room. No lights, no machines humming. Just silence and a single glowing orb floating in the center. Jara approached it and placed her fingers on the surface. The orb responded, showing holograms of files, images, maps, and names. Ethan stared. What is this place? Jara stepped back. My secret. The files scrolled faster, showing thousands of names, human names. This is every human we've captured, Jara said. This is where they hide the truth. Ethan felt sick. How? Did you get access to this? Jara's eyes didn't meet his. I wasn't always a healer. I was born into the core caste, our highest class. My parents are commanders of the bio division. Ethan's eyes narrowed. You're not just some lab assistant. No, she said. I was sent to lead the experiment. You were my mission. He stepped back. She raised her hands, but I didn't know what it would do to me. What do you mean? He asked. Jara sighed. You weren't the first human I worked on. But you were the first one who looked me in the eyes and asked why. The first one who made me question everything I was taught. The orb displayed a new file, Ethan's name, his medical scans, brainwave activity, DNA sequences. They think you are the key, Jara continued. The perfect hybrid, strong, adaptable, and emotionally stable. If you survive, they'll try to make more like you. Ethan's fists clenched. And if I die? They move. On to the next human, she whispered. He turned away, angry. This isn't science, he said. It's slavery. Jara walked to a small terminal and inserted a data shard. The orb dimmed. I made a copy, she said. All the files, every secret, every experiment. With this, we can shut it all down. Ethan stared at the shard. So do it. Jara looked at him. If I upload it to the central core, the leaders will know it was me. I'll be hunted, erased. Ethan's voice was cold. You already said there's no going back? She nodded. Then we do this together. Suddenly, the lights flickered. A loud hiss came from the entrance hatch. They've found us, Jara shouted. The orb shattered into dust. The backup system was gone. Jara grabbed the shard and shoved it into Ethan's hand. You take it, go. No, he said. We both go. Jara shook her head. They'll target me. I'll slow you down. Ethan's eyes burned with defiance. I'm not leaving anyone behind, not anymore. The hatch burst open. 3 guards stormed in, tall aliens in black suits with glowing red weapons. Ethan didn't wait. He jumped forward and knocked one to the ground. The weapon fired, missing him by inches. Jara dove to the floor and sent out a pulse from her palm. The lights flickered. The room shook. Ethan moved faster than he thought possible. He grabbed one guard and threw him across the room. His body, strength was unreal. Enhanced. Jara screamed, Now! Run! They bolted through a side tunnel as the room exploded behind them. Fire chased their shadows. Alarms blared. The station was on full alert now. As they ran, Ethan looked at Jara. You said I was your mission, he panted. What am I now? Jara met his eyes as they turned a corner. You're my only hope. Escape plan or evolution? Ethan and Jara burst into a storage hall, alarms screaming behind them. The emergency lights flashed red, casting long shadows. On the steel walls, pipes hissed, floors shook. Somewhere above, the ceiling cracked like the station itself was angry. Jara gasped, pressing a hand to her side. She had taken a blast in the last fight. Ethan grabbed her arm to support her. This way, she said, voice strained. We're close to the dock level. Ethan nodded, but his mind was elsewhere. His body was changing again. Each breath felt deeper. His heart beat slower, but stronger. His muscles felt like metal wrapped in skin. Something inside him was growing. Not just strength, something else. Something alien. They reached a large security door. Locked. Jara pressed her palm to the scanner. It blinked red. Access denied, the AI voice said coldly. Jara cursed. They removed my clearance. Ethan didn't wait. He stepped forward, grabbed the metal lock and pulled. It creaked. Bent. Then, snap. The entire door tore off its hinges like it was paper. Jara stared at him wide-eyed. That's not possible. Ethan stepped through, breathing hard. It is now. The dock was quiet. Huge windows showed the stars. A few empty shuttles were parked in hangar bays. The floor smelled of oil and fuel. Jara ran to a console. I can start a launch countdown. We can escape in one of the medical shuttles. Ethan stood guard, scanning the area. But the silence didn't last long. A sound, like metal scraping bone, echoed through the hall. Then, a loud thud, and another. Ethan turned toward the source. A figure walked into view. At first it looked human, but no, it was wrong. Its skin was pale. Its eyes glowed red. Its mouth hung open like it forgot how to breathe. Its body twitched. Jara froze. Subject 12. Ethan's heart dropped. Is he one of the others? He asked. Jara nodded slowly. He survived, but not fully. The transformation damaged his mind, made him unstable. The creature growled. Then it sprinted toward them. Ethan shoved Jara behind him. Go, get to the shuttle. Subject 12 moved fast, unnaturally fast. But Ethan met him head-on. They clashed, fist to fist. Ethan was stronger than before, but the creature had no pain, no fear, no limits. They crashed into crates, tore through walls, sent sparks flying. Jara started the shuttle's engine. The lights turned green. Ethan, she screamed. We're ready. But Ethan was pinned. Subject 12 slammed him into the floor. Its claws tore into his shoulder. Ethan roared in pain. But then something clicked. A new instinct woke up. He pushed the creature off with a blast of energy from his chest. A wave of blue light knocked Subject 12 across the hangar. Jara stared. That energy. It's from the fusion crystal. Ethan stood, glowing faintly. His wound healed in seconds. He looked at his hands. I'm becoming one of them. Jara ran to him. No, you're becoming more. The balance between human and alien. The creature got back up, but it looked scared. It turned and ran, vanishing into the dark tunnels. Ethan didn't chase. He was breathing hard, confused, changed. Jara looked at him. You're the only one who didn't lose yourself. Ethan walked toward the shuttle, eyes still glowing slightly. I don't know how long that will last. She helped him inside. The shuttle lifted off. The hangar doors opened. Stars filled the view. Behind them, the station was still in chaos. Jara activated the autopilot. We have 1 hour before intercept. They'll come after us. Ethan sat in silence. What now? She asked softly. He looked down at his hands. They still shook. I don't know, he said. Am I still human, or something else? Jara gently touched his arm. You're still you. That's what matters. Ethan didn't answer. He stared out at the stars. He had escaped. But the real question was, had the procedure already gone too far? The rage of the broken human. The shuttle flew in silence. Stars drifted past the windows. The engines hummed softly. Ethan sat across from Jara, his hands clenched, his body still glowing faint blue from the fight. He didn't speak. Jara broke the silence. We should reach neutral space soon. From there we can hide. Ethan looked at her. And then what? I live the rest of my life running? Changing? Jara lowered her gaze. You're alive. That's more than I can say for the others. Ethan stood. The small shuttle felt too small for what was inside him. Power, anger, fear. He looked at the steel walls like they were closing. And I'm not just alive, he muttered. I'm something else now, something I don't understand. Jara tried to calm him. You're in control, that's the difference. Ethan turned away. Am I? Suddenly a sharp sound rang through the cockpit. Beep. 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 An alert flashed on the console. Jara rushed to check it. Her hands flew. Over the controls. Her face went pale. Another ship just left the station. It's fast, it's following us. Ethan stepped beside her. Is it military? No, it's worse. The screen showed the shape of the ship. Sleek. Black. Silent. No signal. No crew. It was a containment vessel. Jara's voice trembled. That ship only carries one thing. A crash sounded from the back of the shuttle. Ethan spun around. The rear hatch had been forced open, torn from the outside. He didn't have to guess. Subject 12 had followed them. But something was different this time. Its body was bigger, bones cracked as it stepped forward. Its skin had peeled in places, revealing glowing veins. Its eyes weren't just red now, they were burning. Burning with pain, with madness. It didn't roar. It whispered. You stole her. Jara froze. It can speak now. The creature pointed a twisted finger at Ethan. She was mine. You took her away. Ethan was confused. What is it talking about? Jara's face went cold. I think Subject 12 remembers me. The creature twitched violently. You were kind. You touched my face. Then you turned me into this. It charged. Ethan met it head-on again, but this time the creature was stronger. Much stronger. They crashed into the wall. Sparks flew. Panels exploded. Jara was thrown. Across the cabin. The fight was brutal. Ethan felt his ribs crack, his breath catch, but something deep inside him awakened. A memory. No, an instinct. His body lit up with energy again, but this time he guided it. A wave of blue force burst from his chest, lifting Subject 12 into the air and slamming it into the ceiling. Stop! Ethan shouted. The creature dropped, groaning, but it stood again. You don't understand, it said. its voice strange and broken. She was the only thing I remembered. Her voice. Her light. You ruined it. Jara stepped forward. You weren't supposed to suffer. I tried to save you. But the creature was too far gone. It laughed, a sound full of sorrow. You saved him, not me. Then it lunged, not at Ethan, but at Jara. Ethan moved faster than he ever had. He dove in front of her, taking the full hit. They both crashed into the floor. Blood spilled from Ethan's mouth, but he held on. He grabbed Subject 12's neck. You want to blame someone? Blame the ones who made you this way. The creature paused. Its eyes flickered. For a second. Just 1 second. It looked almost human again. I didn't want this. Its body started shaking violently. Glowing lines burned across its chest. It was losing control. Jara shouted, It's unstable. He's about to... But before she could finish... Boom! Subject 12 exploded into light. A pulse of pure energy tore through the shuttle. Everything went white. Ethan woke up on the floor. His ears rang. Smoke filled the cabin. Jara was alive, coughing, helping him sit up. The shuttle was barely holding together. He's gone, she said. Ethan looked around. The walls were scorched. Lights flickered. But they were still alive. Jara whispered. That explosion wasn't just physical, it was emotional. His pain turned into energy. That's what the transformation does if it fails. Ethan wiped blood from his mouth. Then I better make sure I don't fail. Jara touched his hand. You won't. But deep down, Ethan wasn't sure. Because every second he could feel it. The alien inside him growing. And the only thing, holding it back, was his will. One last procedure, Ethan stood at the edge of the ruined shuttle, staring out into space. The stars looked peaceful, but inside him a storm was rising. His body felt like it was on fire, not from pain, but from something deeper, something alien. His heartbeat wasn't normal anymore. His skin glowed faintly. His senses were sharp beyond belief. He could hear Jara's breath, feel the heat of broken circuits, even detect the slow approach of a warship 2 sectors away. He wasn't just human now. He wasn't just alien. He was both. And time was running out. Jara sat against the wall of the shuttle, cradling a glowing device in her hand, the data shard they had stolen from the facility. She looked up at Ethan. We have to decide now. The shard contains everything. The failed experiments, the proof. If we upload it to the Central Galactic Relay, the Council will know what was done. They'll shut it down. Ethan nodded slowly. And if we don't? She looked away. They'll keep hunting humans. Keep trying to make more like you. Ethan clenched his fists. The memory of Subject 12, twisted, screaming, begging to die, flashed in his mind. We can't let that happen. Jara handed him the shard. Then there's one more procedure. Ethan raised an eyebrow. What do you mean? She stood, though her leg was still injured. The Council's main relay isn't just digital, it's biological. Only someone like you, someone enhanced, can link with it directly. He understood. You want me to merge with it? She hesitated, then nodded. Yes, but it's dangerous. You might not come back. Ethan looked at the shard. And if I do this, what happens to me? Jara didn't answer, because they both knew. He might survive, or he might become something else entirely. They reached the relay moon a few hours later. It wasn't guarded heavily. The galaxy still believed humans were too weak to reach this place. They were wrong. Jara guided him through a hidden path under the surface. Biotunnels made of living materials pulsed around them. The relay core was at the center, glowing, humming, waiting. It looked alive. Ethan stepped toward it. What happens when I link? Jara placed her hand on his chest. Your mind will connect with every file, every truth, every command. If your will is strong, you'll upload the truth. You'll shut them down. He took a deep breath, and If my will isn't strong. She didn't speak. Instead, she kissed his cheek. Her skin felt cool. Her eyes shimmered. You asked me once why I helped you, she whispered. I didn't say then, but now I will. He looked at her. She smiled. Because you were the first one who made me feel hope. Ethan closed his eyes. Then he stepped into the light. Inside the core, the moment he touched the relay, everything exploded. But not with fire, with information. Memories that weren't his. Faces of aliens, soldiers, broken test subjects, voices screaming, laughing, dying, plans made in dark rooms, galaxies falling. Jara, as a child, looking up at stars she didn't understand. He saw Subject 12's True, named Kale, a farmer, taken from his home, promised peace. He saw Jara's tears after every failed experiment, and then he saw himself. But not one version. Hundreds. Thousands. Different timelines. Different outcomes. In one, he died in the first room. In another, he became a monster worse than Kale. And in one, just one, he stood before the Galactic Council and made them listen. Ethan felt his mind splitting apart. No, he whispered. I won't be just another copy. The relay pushed harder. You must evolve, a voice echoed. Ethan gritted his teeth. I already have. He forced the shard into the core. The files screamed, data surged. The galaxy shifted. Back outside, Jara waited, shaking. The room trembled. The relay blinked wildly. Then, silence. She ran to the core. Ethan lay at its base, eyes closed. His body was still glowing, but differently now, balanced, calm. She knelt beside him. Ethan? His eyes opened slowly. They were human and alien, but his. I'm still me, he said softly. Jara smiled and wept at the same time. You did it, she said. The council has the files. The truth is out. Ethan sat up. No, more procedures, no more experiments. Then he looked at her, more serious. But it's not over. Weeks later, across the galaxy, stations were shut down. Humans were returned to Earth. Apologies were made, publicly and formally. Jara became the first alien to stand in the United Human Alliance building. And Ethan, he disappeared. Some say he went back to the stars. Some say he still fights from the shadows, stopping secret labs before they begin. Others whisper that he became something more. A guardian, a warning, and a promise. On a quiet planet in a small green valley under a twin sunset, a figure stood. He wore simple clothes, no armor, no weapons. But his eyes glowed faintly. Beside him stood Jara, smiling, alive, at peace. A child ran up to them. Their child, half human, half alien, whole. The galaxy hadn't just changed because of war or science. It had changed because one human refused to lose his soul even when they tried to take it from him. And now he was free.